Hello friends, this is Karthikeya Singh working as an assistant professor in the School of Management Sciences, Varanasi. Today I'm going to start a fresh lecture of Unit 1, and in this we are going to cover basic definition of research methodology. So let's move ahead. So let's start with this first unit, and in this first unit we are going to start with the syllabus of first unit, and in this first unit we are going to start with introduction, meaning of research and research methodology. If we talk about basic research and its definition, so many definitions are there in the market, but to make it bit simpler, you can understand in this way that either you are going to add something new to the existing knowledge base, or you are going to add absolutely new thing or establish absolutely new thing. In both ways you are going to do research. So research is basically a process of adding something new to the existing knowledge base or establishing absolutely new thing. So these are the two ways through which we usually do research. But if you talk about several authors, those who have given different definitions, we are going to cover it one by one. The first definition is of Redman and Murray, and it says systematized effort to gain new knowledge. Whatever knowledge you are going to gain or whatever knowledge you are going to establish, it says systematized effort to gain new knowledge. So as per Redman and Murray, it is a systematized effort to gain new knowledge. Some knowledge is already existing and we are going to add something new to it. This entire process is going to be considered as research. So as per Redman and Murray, systematized effort to gain new knowledge is basically a research. So adding something new either to the existing knowledge base or you are adding absolutely new thing in the market is going to be considered as research. If you talk about the next definition, research referred to a critical and exhaustive investigation of experimentation having as its aim the revision of accepted conclusion in the light of new discovered facts. So whatever research process is there, it is basically critical and exhaustive investigation, and through this critical and exhaustive investigation of experimentation having its aim, there must be certain goal, the revision of the accepted conclusions in the light of new discovered facts. So if we do experimentation, in experimentation we usually try to do it again and again, and through those experimentation we are expected to have some aim which we usually try to fulfill through that experimentation. And if the same result is coming again and again, that means revision of the same accepted conclusion is coming and again, then we are going to consider it as accepted result or discovered facts. So this is the second definition taken from Encyclopedia of Social Sciences, Macmillan publication. So you can consider these two basic definitions: adding something new to the existing knowledge base, a systematized effort to gain new knowledge, or this one, or even you can say one more thing, ways to add something new can also be considered as basic, can also be considered as research definition. So ways to add something new to the existing knowledge base, to the existing knowledge base can also be considered as research. So very basic definitions are there. So in examination point of view, if you want to start your paper at the beginning of it, if you quote these 2 or 3 definitions, it will serve your purpose. In the next slide, I'll take you to the main definition, which you all are expected to mug it up. This is the main definition, which we are going to cover it much in detail. And every individual expected to, if you are going to write in the examination, you all are expected to write this basic definition, because it serves the entire purpose of research process. If you learn it by heart, through this definition you'll be able to write the research process. So I'll take you through different examples. I'll also give you the research process, and I'll correlate your research process with definition. So if you learn it by heart, your research process is also going to be covered through this definition, the best part of this definition. And you all are expected to learn it by heart, and you are expected to write it at the time of examination also. So start with research comprises of defining and redefining a problem. I have used several colors. Why am I using different colors? Because at the time of learning, if you break the entire definition into smaller parts, you'll be able to easily learn it by heart. So research comprises of defining and redefining a problem, formulating hypothesis or suggested solution, collecting, organizing, evaluating data, making deduction, reaching conclusion, and at last carefully testing the conclusion to determine whether they fit with the formulated hypothesis or not. Let me write research process in the right hand side, and I'm going to correlate this particular definition with that research process. So this research definition is also going to serve the purpose of learning your research process. So this definition is very important, and we all are expected to learn it by heart. So first line says research comprises of defining and redefining a problem. That means problem identification. Problem identification. First, till we reach to our main problem, we keep on defining and redefining a problem. This statement is saying, till we reach to a particular problem, main problem of the research, we keep on defining and redefining a problem. We again and again refine our problem. We usually try to reach to a particular problem, because to reach to a particular problem, we have to negate so many problems associated with the main problem. For example, handloom weavers are struggling in Varanasi. So if handloom weavers are struggling in Varanasi, there may be several reasons for it. There may be a problem of infrastructure, there may be a problem of funding, there may be a reason of electricity, there may be a reason of their skill, there may be a reason of design, there may be a reason of reach to the market, there may be a reason of middlemen who must be earning basic profit from their own efforts. So several reasons are there, but out of those reasons, till we reach to a particular problem, a specific problem, we'll keep on investigating, or we keep on defining and redefining a problem. So problem identification is a process of reaching to a particular problem till we get to the main problem. Several problems may remain there, but we try to reach to a particular problem, and we try to start research on the basis of that main problem. Now let's move ahead. Again, it comes with formulating hypothesis. Formulating hypothesis is the next step, but this definition is not covering one important step: extensive literature survey. Extensive literature survey. So once we have identified our problem, we are going to do extensive literature survey. Means whatever literature which is available related to the problem, we are going to go ahead and do all extensive literature survey to define or understand the problem very clearly. Once we have understood our problem, we are going to devise hypothesis. So as per the definition, next step would be hypothesis building. So third step would be hypothesis building, which is covered in this particular definition. So research comprises of defining and redefining a problem. Then one step is missing here, that is extensive literature survey. We have done our extensive literature survey, that we are going to formulate our hypothesis. Then what is hypothesis? Hypothesis basically suggested solution or assumptions, which we are going to test statistically at the end of it. For example, handloom weaver example, market access is the main problem. If I want to hypothesize thing in this way, that due to market accessibility, handloom weavers of Varanasi are struggling to do well. because market access is not there with the handloom weavers. That's why these people are not able to do well. So middlemen are there, and they usually get the main benefit, and these handloom weavers are not expected to fetch that much from the market. So direct market access is not there, and this is the main problem. So I'm going to hypothesize that handloom weavers are struggling due to the accessibility of the market. So this would be my hypothesis. If I'm going to go ahead with the research process, again at the time of conclusion, we are going to test this hypothesis which I am framing at this point of time. So hypothesis is the presumption. Without doing research, we are going to tell that this kind of research is expected to come at the end of this research. So formulating hypothesis, we are going to do assumption, or we are going to give suggested solutions. Once we have build our hypothesis, we are going to go ahead with collecting, organizing, evaluating data. These are the further steps. But again, after building hypothesis, we always work on research design. After hypothesis building, we are going to work on research design. And in research, after research design, in research design, we usually cover some basic questions like what, when, where, how, and by whom. So what is the research all about, when it is going to be done, where it is going to be done, how it is going to be done, and by whom it should be done. So all these basic questions are going to be covered in this basic research design. Again, after formulating hypothesis, one step is missing, that is your research design. Now, collecting, organizing, evaluating data comes under sampling, and then after sampling, we usually do data collection. These two steps are hiding in this collecting, organizing, and evaluating data. In sampling, we usually select population first, and out of that population, we usually select some representative data that we are going to call it as sampling. One separate chapter is there on the sampling, so we are going to cover this much in detail at the time of I think it is in the third unit. So we are going to cover sampling much in detail in third unit. But at this point of time, you can just understand that after designing our research, we work on sampling. So sampling is the process of selecting a representative data from the population. And once we have done with our sampling, we usually start with data collection. And here they are saying that it is process of collecting, organizing, and evaluating data. So raw data is being covered or collected from the market. Then we work on that data. We organize the data. Then we evaluate the data on the value of data. And finally, we make deduction from the data. So data analysis, after data collection, we usually do data analysis. We do deduction in this data analysis. And once we have already done our data analysis, we try to reach to a particular conclusion after data analysis. And last, whatever conclusion has come, we try to match it with the formulated hypothesis. So once data analysis is done, we come out with conclusion. And one conclusion is there, we usually try to test it or match it with the hypothesis. So if you learn this entire definition, you are going to cover this research process as well. So in terms of research process, you are going to identify problem, then you are going to do extensive literature survey, then you are going to build hypothesis, you are going to do research design, then you are going to do sampling design, then data collection, then data analysis, then conclusion, and finally hypothesis testing. And once hypothesis is done, then generalization of research, generalization, and report writing. These are the basic steps of research that you are going to learn through definition. So this is very important definition which you are going to write at the time of examination. So for this particular purpose, you all are expected to mug it up or learn it by heart. That's why I have given this particular slide, or I've used different colors to elaborate this particular definition. The research comprises of defining and redefining a problem. That means problem identification. After that, we are going to do extensive literature survey that I have already told you. Then we usually formulate hypothesis or suggested solution. Then collecting, organizing, and evaluating data. That means after designing our research or doing sampling, we are going to collect data, analyze data, and finally we try to reach to a particular conclusion. Once conclusion is being met or conclusion is being reached, we usually try to match this conclusion with the hypothesis, formulated hypothesis. So this is the basic definition and the main definition for research, and author for this particular research is Clifford Woody. So you have to learn it and give it at the beginning of your test paper. Even if examiner has not asked this question that what is research, but then also at the beginning of research, try to mention this particular definition. It will definitely give you an edge, because this research definition covers the entire syllabus, not only syllabus, the entire research process also. So you'll be able to correlate things while writing this particular research definition. So this is the most important definition which you all are expected to learn it by heart. So move to the next slide. This is the next slide. This is basically, we have already learned 3 definitions. Redman and Murray encyclopedia, and some small definition was also there, and Clifford Woody. And now this particular thing is not research, this is research methodology. So we have learned research and we are going to cover research methodology as a basic definition. So this definition is saying that it is systematic technique used in research. So research is basically a process and research methodology is a technique of research. This simply means a guide to research and how it is conducted. Basically, research methodology gives you a guide or play a background to do any particular research. It describes and analysis methods, throws more light on their limitations and resources, clarify their presuppositions and consequences, relating their potentialities to the twilight zone at the frontier of knowledge. So by seeing this particular definition, you must be thinking that it is a bit clumsy or it is a bit difficult, but it is not that difficult. If you segregate the entire definition to smaller parts, like up to this systematic technique to used in research, first part, it is very much clear that it is a technique used in research. Then simply means a guide. It creates the background. It creates the background to do research and how it is conducted. This particular research methodology creates a background to carry out a research. It describes and analysis methods, throw more light on limitations and resources. Whatever resources you are having, it gives you an idea how much resources are there and what are the limitations in carrying out that research you come across through research methodology. Clarify their presuppositions, whatever suppositions you have made before carrying out research, it usually gives light on that. Then it also tells you the consequences relating to their potentiality, where you are going to reach at the end of your research, it is also going to tell you. And finally, twilight zone at the frontier of the knowledge. Finally, it is going to serve the purpose of reaching a particular goal which you have identified or defined at the beginning of the research. So I think this particular research methodology definition is also going to help you, and you all are expected to learn it by heart, because apart from giving definition of research, 3 definition of research, research methodology definition can also be learned, because your subject is research methodology and everybody would be asking you to define research as well as research methodology at the time of examination. So the most important thing which you all are expected to keep in your mind is your definition of research and research methodology, which you will learn. And most important thing, I'm going to add this slide, not only this slide, the notes of this slide in SlideShare or Google Drive. I'm going to give you the link in the description box of this video. So at the time of examination, you can download it or learn these basic research methodology techniques, it is going to serve or it is going to help you immensely at the time of examination. Thank you so much for watching.